Happy Halloween, boys and girls, and welcome to another edition of Going to Bed with Mike and Steve. I'm Mike.
And I'm Steve.
And we are currently reading R.L. Stine's Goosebumps, number 42, Egg Monsters from Mars, Chapter 25. Let's get started, shall we?
Ready.
He stopped outside the window. He clicked on the hall light. In the bright light, I could see beads of sweat on his forehead. He frowned and stared in at me with those cold, blue eyes. He could be anybody. Nice try, Dana, he said sourly. Huh? What do you mean? I choked out. My legs were trembling, not from the cold. I was really terrified. You almost got your father's attention, Dr. Gray replied. That wouldn't have been nice. That would have spoiled my plans.
That would have made me real angry.
What you understand from what you overheard with your father, I'm an extraordinarily lonely individual, a bachelor, you might say, a hopeless romantic bachelor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend all my time with you. You're going to be my best friend. Don't that sound nice?
We're going to have such a great time.
And look, we got a bunch of little kitties in the form of egg monsters from Mars.
We shall take good care of them, you and I.
We'll take very good care of them. They'll purr, they'll rub themselves against our shins, we'll pet them, we'll take them for walks. Well, no, you don't really take cats for walks, do you? You can, though. I saw on the internet, on Amazon.com, you can buy yourself it's a special little leash designed just for a cat. Of course, I'm not sure they'd fit those because they don't make special kinds of leashes for egg monsters from Mars. But see, what I was thinking we do, see my big plan, right? So you and I together, we're gonna it's gonna be like a mom and pop shop. What we're gonna do is we're going to create leashes. I keep saying leeches, but I mean leashes for egg monsters from Mars. We're going to open up our own little pet shop, and we're going to sell them to children. What do you say, Dana? What do you say?
Except when we go for walks, I go for walks. You got to stay in here.
Right. You can walk them around the room, though, all you want, and I'm going to keep it nice and cold for you because you're the coolest guy I know, Dana.
Let's cool this place down just a little more.
Oh, you're so cool, Dana. Get it? Oh, just for you, Dana. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
I pressed my palms against the glass. I tried to force myself to stop trembling. Why couldn't Dad see me? I demanded. Dr. Dre rubbed his hand. Dr. Dre rubbed his hands over his side of the window. It's one-way glass, he explained. No one can see into the room from the hall unless I turn on the bright hall light. I let out a long sigh. You mean? Your father saw only blackness, the scientist said.
And he didn't think of looking in, just like every other room.
He thought he was staring into an empty room, just the way you did, until I turned on the light. But why didn't he hear me? I demanded. I was shouting my head off. Dr. Dre shook his head. A waste of time. The room you are in is totally soundproof. Not a sound escapes into the hall. But I can hear you, I declared. That was my question, so.
Yep.
To Dana's credit, he is asking pertinent questions.
He is. Yes, good.
I could hear every word you and Dad said, and now you can hear me. There is a speaker system in the hall, he explained. I can turn it on and off with the same control unit that locks the door. So I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me, I murmured. Oh, he murmured. You're a very smart boy, he replied. His blue eyes flashed. I know you're smart enough not to try any more tricks in there. Ha! You don't know how dumb I am until I show you how dumb I am.
This is how dumb I am.
You have to let me out, I screamed. You can't keep me here. Yes, I can, Dana.
I can and I did, and I will.
I'm pretty sure that I have displayed to you the power of my ability to keep you here. I kept you locked. Your dad came and was standing 2 feet away from you.
He looked at you.
He looked right into your face, and I was still able to keep you here. So, you are mistaken when you say that I can't keep you here. Yes, I can. I can keep you here as long as I like, Dana.
It's going to be a long, long time.
We're going to be friends forever, Dana. But I sputtered. I was so frightened I couldn't speak. It's my duty to keep you in here.
Your duty?
Duty, I said to myself. Dr. Dre said calmly. He didn't care that I was so scared and upset. He didn't care about me at all, I realized. He must be crazy, I decided. Crazy and evil. It's my duty to keep you here, he repeated. He said duty again, I thought to myself. But no, this was very serious. Be serious, I said to myself. I'm the serious one. I must make sure that the egg creatures haven't harmed you. I must make sure that the egg creatures haven't given you strange germs that might pass on to others.
That's why I'm keeping you in here with them.
Also, that is why I had no problem standing within an immediate vicinity with you when I first brought you into this freezer, you understand. I'm not concerned about, I may have personally passed evil egg monster from Mars germs onto your father, who then went out and infected the general populace, but you see, I'm not too picky about the rules, you understand. I'm really pretty lax on them. I'm keeping you, let your father go.
I make the rules, I decide which ones are permanent at what time they're permanent.
I'm pretty much making this up as I go along. Have you not figured out the fact that I'm not a real scientist yet, Dana? I mean, Jesus.
You are dumb.
Look at how fucking unprofessional I have been this entire way. Look, there's so many holes in my logic, Dana. You said you were a scientist, and you ain't even figured out yet that I ain't a scientist. I am platinum, award-winning, platinum CD album-selling Dr. Dre, motherfucker.
I'm not a real doctor.
Let me out, I shrieked. I was too frightened and angry to argue with him. Too angry and frightened to think clearly. Let me out, I demanded, pounding on the glass with my aching fists. Get some rest, Dana, he instructed. Don't tire yourself out, son. I want to start doing some tests on you in the morning. You know, algebra, geometry. Hey, you better get studying. You can study with those blobs over there. They real good at making them shapes. You know, you got a square, you got a circle, you got a triangle, dodecahedron. It's a tough one, but they make it work. You got to jump right on, Jay. See if you can wiggle into their study group, because there's going to be some tests in the morning, I tell you. I've changed Dr. Dre's voice so many times. First he sounds like Foghorn Leghorn, then he sounds like, now he sounds like a bad Eddie Murphy character.
Hey.
All right, but I'm freezing, I stammered. Let me out of here. At least let me stay somewhere warm, please. He ignored my plea. He clicked off the hall light and turned away. I watched him make his way down the long hall. He disappeared through a door in front and closed the door hard behind him.
I mean, he does seem screwed.
Yes, I will say that this would be rated PG for peril, Steve.
Oh no.
And scary.
Mild peril.
Mild peril and scary situations. I stood there trembling, my heart pounding. I was cold and very scared. I had no way of knowing things were about to get a lot scarier.
No.
And that's about all the time we have for tonight, Steve.
Oh, man.
But we will continue Egg Monsters from Mars tomorrow. Good night, Steve.
Good night, Mike. Good night, everybody.